hello to everyone. I'm going to just introduce myself briefly. My name is Janet Hallwell, and I am an independent consultant specializing in training in GCP. I have a background in terms of, well, I've been in clinical research for many, many years, and I started out in academia as a coordinator, became a research site manager, and then transitioned to industry, starting out as a monitor, became a study manager, had quality roles and a variety of roles, always doing some sort of teaching or training. And about 7 years ago, started out independent consulting. So that's my history sort of in a very quick nutshell, but we have a little bit of a disclaimer on here that the content of this seminar provides information regarding FDA investigator inspections. So we're focusing more on the site, not on the sponsor, although there are a lot of similarities. And the content is not intended to provide specific legal advice. I am not a lawyer, okay? And participants should consult their legal counsel for guidance to particular factual situations. So that's our disclaimer. Our learning objectives are up here. We're going to look and take a look at what actually happens during an audit or inspection. And today, you know, most of you may know this already because it seems to me like you're all kind of seasoned ClinOps people. But an audit is usually referring to what a sponsor would do from their QA department, an independent audit sort of situation. When that particular function is carried out by a regulatory authority like the FDA, we call it an inspection. Now I know we use audit interchangeably today, but to be a purist, inspection really refers to the FDA because they are the FDA inspectors that come out. Okay, so we're going to look at that. We're going to look at, we're going to see the regulations, the ICH types and focus of the FDA inspections, what they actually cover, their various divisions. We're going to look at what we need to do in terms of being always inspection ready or audit ready. And actually we're going to look too to say that, you know, the most important visits or the most important time points for your interactions with the sites are right at site selection and also at initiation visits. Setting the groundwork for what is to be expected in terms of their performance and what to expect if they do have an inspection or an audit. We are going to look and see what we do in situations when we have sites that are not really the most compliant sites. Okay, we're also going to discuss the mission of the FDA Bioresearch Monitoring Program. We're going to look at the timing of an FDA inspection, you know, what they're doing as of the last few years. They're trying to come out earlier. In the past, the FDA used to come out, the study was over, and it could have been over and done with a couple of years ago even. And they realized that there's not very much bang for the buck, if you pardon that expression, but they're coming out, they're inspecting something that's closed, so they can't really affect any change for that particular study. Yes, of course, if they see that there are deficiencies and there are new processes put in place, the site can improve for future studies, but does nothing for that study that they've just actually inspected. So they are trying to get out earlier to kind of make the changes that they are expecting from the site be more meaningful for the studies that are going on at that time. We know that ICH with the current revision, with the ICH E6 revision 2, there is a clause in there that now makes the sponsor responsible for going out to the sites, and when we see this noncompliance, do a root cause analysis with the site and come up with CAPAs. And the FDA is very interested in seeing those CAPAs, corrective and preventive actions. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then we're going to look at the actual mechanics of what actually happens from the time you get that, the site gets that phone call and they're notified that, oh, the FDA is coming, to the time that they have their findings presented.